All right, you guys been asking for it. Well, here it is. This is the biggest knowledge drop, most in-depth video I've done so far. It covers everything that I've done to go from being 100 pounds overweight to being fucking jacked and shredded. Hopefully you guys learned something. This is a longer video. Stick around to the end. I got something for you. Come on. All right, what's up, guys? So this is the Roughneck Reset. This is how I get busy blue-collar guys jacked in 1 year through lifestyle bodybuilding. So who am I? I'm a high-skilled tradesman who is sick of not looking the part of the leadership positions I held. I didn't feel like the badass I was known to be, like at work, and I was getting pushed around, and I had had enough. So I used the 75 Hard program to rewire my brain. And in the process, I became obsessed with lifestyle bodybuilding. So for those of you that don't know, 75 Hard is a mental toughness program, and it uses like physical fitness. So you got to do 2 workouts a day. One of them has to be outside. They both have to be 45 minutes long. And it's 75 days, 2 workouts a day, a gallon of water, got to read 10 pages. It's a fucking tough program. And it's something that, if you're married or something like that, I really don't suggest it because it's going to put a lot of strain on your fucking relationship. Especially if she's not on board or like doesn't understand why or what you're doing. There's like, and if your goal is just to get in shape, there's better ways to do it. So after this program, or during the program, I should say, I trained naturally for 1 year. My diet was not the best. It was like this weird like carnivore keto thing. I was just eating a ton of fucking saturated fat, and it was just not good for bodybuilding. But I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I just knew I had to change. So I made strength gains, but just still felt fat and terrible. I got on testosterone a year later, started eating like a bodybuilder, and it took a lot of time and some serious financial investments because, I invested in coaching to discover the method that I'm going to show to you today. But here's my kind of 1 year natural transformation. You can see I had fucking fat dude gyno, which I'll make another video about that. I'm still dealing with that. But I mean, you can see my fucking shoulders and everything busted out. I couldn't even bench 135 one fucking time. The first time I went into the gym, I was like, fuck, I'll throw 135 on, get warmed up. Previously, I think my best bench was like 185 or something. So I put 135 on the bar and got fucking stuck underneath of it. It was so fucking embarrassing. But by the end of that year, like I could rep 225 5 or 6 times any day of the week. I could squat 315, maybe 2 to 3 times. And then I could deadlift 405 for like 8. So as far as a natural progression, I mean, I can't ask for much more than that in a year. And those were all lifts that I had never in my life came close to hitting before. So these pictures turned out like shit, but here's what 1 year of testosterone use and a proper diet. So when I tested my testosterone, I was like low 300s. And I told myself before, I knew I had an issue because of the gyno, but I told myself, I'm like, okay, if my testosterone's 600, I'm not going to get on TRT. And it came back, dude. It was like 308 or something. I'm like, dude, fuck this. So I didn't even go through a fucking TRT clinic. I just bought testosterone from a UGL, and this was like 3 months into it. You can see the abs are starting to come through, fucking bicep veins. And then I ran 200 milligrams for like 6 weeks, and then I upped it to 350. And this was like towards the end of me running 350 test. And then from there, I bumped it up to 500 and then added some Master on and some Winstrol. I ran that for a few months and then kind of had to come off of everything. And this is 8 months later. This is after I started working with the coach that I have now. This is like 3 weeks into my fucking second cycle. And I mean, see, fucking peeled to the bone. I had just had a fucking cheat meal. This was on leg day. So, like, you can see all the food sitting in my belly, but I mean, just fucking peeled. This is 11 months later, or, 11 months. So, towards the end of the year, you see shoulders are fucking popping, abs are popping, veins are popping. And here's me at 208. This is 200, and then 208 again. And you can just see the progression, the leanness. I mean, this is what I wanted all along. So what is lifestyle bodybuilding? So this is 13 months. So like I'm 12 weeks, eight weeks or so into my second cycle, 210 pounds, fucking still peeled. So what is lifestyle bodybuilding? It's doing all the things required to look like a bodybuilder without entering a beauty pageant. As men, we all want to be jacked and lean, just like the main character of our favorite action movie. The Roughneck Reset utilizes the same system used by guys that are 300 pounds with abs. Serious training, disciplined eating, smart recovery, and strategic supplementation. If I can go from being 100 pounds overweight and an alcoholic to looking like a bodybuilder, so can you. And like, I don't have the best genetics ever. I have a lot of, since I've worked in the trades for years, I have a lot of muscle imbalances, just from fucking using my right hand for everything. But, if you fucking put the effort in, you can totally turn that around. So why you need a high level physique? So this is something that, I had thought about. Like, I think a lot of us do this. Like, we know we need to change. Like, we have this idea in our head of what we're supposed to look like, or what we want to look like. So like when I was a kid, I always imagined myself, like getting older and looking like fucking Vin Diesel from the first Fast and the Furious movie, or the Riddick movie. So why you need a high level physique? It sets the standard at home. Lead by example with your spouse and children. Show them what discipline looks like. It raises community standards. So like people, your neighbors and people we see at the grocery store. Be the guy other men look up to and want to emulate in your circle. So like, guys, it doesn't take much. Like I said, I'm fucking little over 200 pounds, and just about everywhere I go, I'm the most jacked guy. That's not me trying to jerk myself off here, but it is noticeable when you're the most jacked guy in the room, and it really doesn't take much because the standards in our communities are so low right now. Positions you to earn more. People respect and trust leaders who look the part. It opens doors. So like if you're talking to two salesmen and they're both trying to sell you the same car, and you got one salesman that, you can see fucking veins popping out of his fucking button up. Dude is just lean. He's got a firm handshake and talks with confidence and everything. And, the other salesman is just kind of this fat, sweaty, slobby kind of guy. He's got fucking armpit sweat, stinks, and who are you going to buy the car from? I mean, like, you're obviously going to go to the clean cut guy that looks like he fucking takes care of himself and gives a shit, because if he's taking care of himself, he's going to take care of you too. So it also builds unbreakable character. The discipline required transfers to every area of your life. You become unstoppable. Just some other reasons, I talked about this a minute ago, is it satisfies the 8-year-old and the 80-year-old version of you. So I think about that a lot, right? So satisfying the 8-year-old and the 80-year-old version of me. So like I said, 8-year-old version of me wanted to look like fucking Vin Diesel when I was a kid. And I know, so like if I didn't make the change a couple of years ago and get the ball rolling, the 80-year-old me would never, I don't think I could forgive myself. You make it to fucking 80 years old and you didn't, do this, change your physique when you know you're in trouble. dude, that's a fucking, I couldn't go out like that. Um, so look better, feel better, and perform better in all areas. So I made this presentation with AI. I fucking typed it all out and AI'd it. So this is supposed to say, look better, feel better, fuck better. That's a quote I get from Seth Feroshi. He's a retired IFBB pro. If you've never heard of him, look him up. He's got a lot of great content on YouTube. A lot of my training strategies and stuff like that, I've learned a lot from his videos, and I've implemented a lot into my training program. So if you guys want to learn something, go follow Seth Feroshi. And also, like, your 30s and 40s are your prime years. I'm sure a lot of you guys are at least 30 years old. Um, and, you know, women, their prime is in their 20s. I remember being in my 20s and fucking, yeah, dude, it was so hard to like get a girl my age. You know, I had sugar mamas that were all in their fucking 40s when I was 20 because, you know, I didn't have the skills, I didn't have the looks, I didn't have the money to fucking get a girl my age. But now that, you know, you're in your 30s, you know, us guys are usually, you know, financially secure. We've worked hard through our 20s on our career. We got money now. And what ends up lacking a lot of times is the fucking physique. So you get the physique in check, and now you're like really in your fucking prime through your 30s and 40s. And it commands respect from peers, coworkers, and everyone you meet. I mean, this kind of goes back to, it, you know, positions you to earn more. Like, this all ties together. The respect that I get from peers and stuff like that, like, even at work, like, you know, I could fuck something up, and this is going to sound bad, but because I'm jacked, it's going to be more forgivable, just because, like, I'm literally wearing the fucking discipline around. It's hard to explain. It's almost like a fucking cheat code. Okay, so who is this for? This is for men that are ready for real change. You're ready to build a lean, hard physique that demands respect. No more excuses, just results. This is for people that are sick of fad diets like carnivore, keto, fucking intermittent fasting. None of these will give you long-term results. Muscle is taxing to maintain, and you need to eat with purpose to fuel it properly. So, lack of results, tired of wasting time, health, and money on supplements, equipment, memberships, steroids with little to no progress year after year. You know, a lot of you guys, especially if you're in your 30s, are probably already on fucking TRT. If you're not, and you're over the age of 30, just get on TRT. I fucking promise you, you are gonna need it. You know, trying to compete in the fucking, like, you're competing against men that have their hormones in check. So, like, if you're high skilled trades, if you're a business owner, some sort of sales position, the men that you are competing with are on testosterone. If you are not on testosterone, you are gonna fucking lose. So if you're ready for a proven blueprint, you want a simple yet proven system to execute and get results while still being present for family, work, and hobbies. This is a big one, but like, you know, you can get results while still being present for work, family, and everything. The more extreme of a result that you want, you know, that's going to have to come from somewhere. You're going to have to give up, not give up, but your life isn't going to be balanced. If you want really crazy, like I want crazy results. Like, I want to be 250 lean. Like, that's a fucking tall order, right? So, like, balance is fucking out the window if you have a crazy goal like that. But dude, if you want to be 200 to 220 shredded, yeah, you can still be fucking present for your family, work, hobbies, stuff like that. Who this is not for? This is not for slackers. If you're not ready to allocate real time and effort into this method, it's not for you. This takes work. So doubters, like self-hate can help yield results. This is a really useful tool. But if you can't trust the process or doubt yourself at every corner, this is not for you. External motivation. If you're doing this for anyone other than yourself, it's not for you. This program is hard and it demands an identity shift into the best version of you. So like if you're doing this just because you want to fucking, impress a girl, like, so if you're doing it for superficial reasons, you're going to get superficial results. That's probably the easiest way to put that. So loyalists to failed methods. If you're convinced that you have to get fat to put on muscle or starve yourself to get lean, I can't fucking help you. The old dogma does not work. There is no reason that you should push past 15% body fat in a growth phase. And same thing with like cutting fucking all your calories down to 1,200 all at once for a dieting phase. It makes no fucking sense. That's how you end up being skinny fat forever. I mean, you see it at all your local gyms, right? See the guys training their fucking asses off. They might even be strong, but they fucking just got that weird, like, kind of skinny fat. You can kind of tell they work out, but like, not, you're like almost jacked, but not really. And that's not a fucking place you want to stay at for very long. Okay, keys to getting jacked. So mindset. To make these changes permanent, our mindset needs to be adjusted. Mental toughness is the foundation of physical transformation. Training efficiency. Being a dad, business owner, or skilled tradesman requires us to train smarter, not longer, for maximum results in minimum time. I will say, there's the Rich Piana quote, is the more you put in, the more you get out. This is true to a sense, if you're training your fucking face off, you are going to get results. But kitchen efficiency. Sorry, my phone was going off. I lost my train of thought. Kitchen efficiency. Understanding how to eat correctly and in a way that aligns with our goals. So fuel your body like the machine that it is. Pharmacology. For a lot of us, our dream physique won't come naturally. Understanding how and when to deploy PEDs in a safe but effective manner. This is something like after training for a year naturally, like I knew fucking 6 months in, I'm like, I'm going to have to fucking step it up, where I want to go. And just, age plays a big part in this also. So like if I was 24 when I started this instead of 34, I would have probably trained natural a little longer just because I was getting results. Like it wasn't like I wasn't getting them. But, let's be honest, like staying fucking peeled, full, strong, well over 200 pounds for a lot of us is not going to be, it's not achievably naturally. And, there's a lot of dogma in the fitness industry, like, people trying to, there's influencers and stuff that'll try to shame you into thinking that gear is like a bad thing. It's a fucking tool. It's a tool, and it's, people say, well, you shouldn't use gear unless you're going to compete. Well, that's fucking retarded. If anything, you should use gear to build your personal brand, to build yourself into a, to build your reputation into somebody, that people look up to and admire, and, just build your physique and your brand and help it, earn you more income, earn you respect. That's what, gear should be used for. Not dancing around in your fucking underwear at a beauty contest. So program overview. So there's 3 distinct phases designed to take you from where you are now to a physique that commands respect. each phase builds on the last. So our first phase, this is a health phase, introducing a clean diet, setting health markers, correcting insulin sensitivity, focus on building strength and skill with compound movements. If enhanced, PED use will just be like your TRT levels. Main thing here is we'll get blood work done first. See what's out of whack. You know, a lot of times just the diet and basic training will correct a lot of those issues. If you need extra supplements or medication to keep those health markers in check, we'll take care of that. Insulin sensitivity, so like if you're carrying around excess body fat, we got to get you leaned out. And then focus on building strength and skill with compound movements. So that's going to be like our bench press, our deadlift, our barbell row, our barbell squats, stuff like that. If you're not doing those movements, you need to start doing them. So that is the foundation for fucking all strength. I'm not saying that you have to, you know, do it forever. You know, you don't have to fucking back squat for 20 years, but if you don't have a 4-plate back squat, a 3-plate bench, a 3-plate row, and a 5-plate deadlift, you need to be doing those movements until you get to that baseline strength. And if you can hit those numbers, I promise you, you're going to be the biggest fucking guy in every single gym you go to. So the second phase is kind of our cruise and maintenance. A lot of, you know, ideally we're going to go from this phase to the growth phase. This is just kind of like if life is crazy, and because this growth phase takes a lot of fucking intent. So like if you're not in a place like with work or family or whatever, you just need to fucking cruise. This is where we're going to go. It's just depending on goals. The diet would be adjusted and more training volume added compared to the baseline. So just be low dose of test, maybe some Masteron, HGH, just to maintain lean gains. And, you know, we're not going to push the fucking calories up real high. It's just going to be maintenance, maybe slightly above. And we'll just fucking cruise and feel good. And it's not going to, you know, once these health markers are set, if you just want to cruise and main gain, this is where you're going to stay. But for most of us, we're going to want to go here to this growth phase. This is where we're going to push the envelope with food, training, recovery, PEDs to pack on muscle onto the frame. And can only do this properly if you're lean first. You have to get to sub 10% body fat. 10%. 10% is a fucking minimum. If you're not good at like visually doing this, just buy the fucking calipers. The body scan things are fucked. Like, I would not trust those at all. But the calipers are pretty fucking good. The lowest I saw my body fat before starting my growth phase was 8%. And that was the picture I showed you at the beginning of this. Okay, so issues with other methods. These outdated approaches keep you spinning your wheels. Here's why traditional methods fail and leave you frustrated. So the bulking and cutting. This method is literally just an excuse to be a fat ass. Is always followed by muscle loss, and you end up right back where you started. And a lot of this is like guys will fucking do like an 8 or 12 week cycle. Fucking as soon as they start their cycle, they're fucking eating McDonald's after every fucking workout, getting Wendy's fucking shakes on the way into the workout. Like it makes no fucking sense. Like you end up just getting fat as fuck. You end up in like this weird skinny fat phase. I mean, just go to any like local fucking Planet Fitness and I can point out 3 or 4 guys that are all taking gear and they're all doing this bullshit right here. Bulking and cutting. It's fucking retarded. Look, like, unless you have a coach that is really fucking good at bulking and cutting, don't fucking try it on your own because you're just going to get fat as fuck. And then when you go to cut, you're going to lose all your fucking muscle. And you're not going to gain or lose a fucking pound. You're just going to kind of stay like the same. Like you're just like adding body fat and losing it. No muscle is being created. So keto or zero carbs. I'm guilty of fucking doing this. When I first started, like I I should fucking patent this fucking diet. But I was doing zero carb. I was still drinking at the time, so I'd do zero carb until after my workout at the end of the day, and then I'd drink like a fucking six pack of Run Guy's Truth, and it'd be like 1,000 grams of carbs or something like that. And I lost like fucking 30 pounds. This is before I started doing 75 hard, but I lost fucking like 30 pounds doing this. Anyway, yeah, it's just not sustainable. Because especially like if we're weightlifting, your muscles need the carbohydrates to replenish your glycogen stores. You're not gonna be able to fucking train very hard for very long doing this keto, zero carb, or even the fucking carnivore is even worse. The carnivore diet is really only useful if you're treating like an autoimmune disease or something like that. And most guys will fuck this up because, it sounds really enticing. Like, yeah, dude, I want to eat fucking 3 or 4 ribeye steaks a day. That's going to be awesome. But like, if you're fat as fuck, when you start doing that and you're eating fucking 400 grams of saturated fat every day, you're not going to lose any weight. And if you do, you're going to gain it right back as soon as you have a fucking bowl of rice. So, extreme fasting. I don't think guys are really have an issue with this. You see it more in like women. They'll fucking, try to do intermittent fasting or some fucking extreme fasting bullshit, and then end up just being tired and fucking irritable and not being able to perform in the gym and not losing any weight. So it causes metabolic damage, muscle loss, and you're sabotaging your gains before you even start. Um, you can play around with fasting a little bit, like with your carb cycling, but trying to plan a whole diet around fasting and then also trying to exercise, it doesn't fucking work. I put fasting in with like carnivore, like unless you're trying to treat symptoms of like some sort of autoimmune disorder or something like that. The fasting is not where we want to go just for fucking everyday fat loss and muscle building. So macro-based diets. This is where I got fucked up. This is where when I started dieting and really working out at the end of 2023, beginning of 2024, basically all of 2024, I was fucking doing macro-based diets. So it's just if it fits my macros, right? So like whatever, you'd have 200 grams of carbs, fucking 120 grams of fat, 250 grams of protein. Okay. So then you just track. So like, I had an app on my phone, right? So it was like, well, I'm going to have this protein bar from the gas station. And then I'm going to have a protein shake. Well, then I'm going to have a ribeye. And you're like trying to piece together all this shit and make it fit within your fucking macros. But then you're eating different shit every day. Or, I'd try, I was eating a lot of steak because my fucking, the way my macros were set up through this fucking app, it had me eating like 220 grams of fat a day, which is fucking ridiculous for trying to lose weight and build muscle. Made no fucking sense. That's why you'll always hear me talking shit about these fucking dumbass apps and all of my content. And same thing with macro-based diets. It's a good place to start and like maybe learn some discipline, but it's not fucking sustainable long term, and it's not going to yield you the results. You're going to get fucking discouraged because the scale is going to go like this, and then it's just going to fucking flatline. You're not going to gain or lose a pound after the fucking initial hit. So training principles, intensity. This is probably the most important one. We must train intense enough to stimulate muscle growth. Minimal intensity equals minimal results. Leave it all at the gym. Form, good enough to allow the body to adapt to the highest intensity sets possible. So like top set with B plus, then with A plus form on our back off and isolation work. So like what that means is, if you're fucking, let's just say you're barbell rowing and, you're trying to push the weight up fucking just put a little bit of body English into it. You know, you still want to get a good squeeze, protract your scapula. You know, you still want to do all that, but fucking horsecock the weight around a little bit just to kind of push up. And then when you go to do your back off set, then you tighten the form up. You know, we're not going to do any swinging, anything like that. But for that fucking top heavy set, same thing with bench press. Like if you get, you know, you get fucking 2 or 3 clean ones at the beginning of your set, but then your fucking back starts to arch, so be it, you know, especially if you're fucking benching a couple 100 pounds. Like, you know, aim for good form, high intensity. It's just that top set, you know, maybe we loosen it up a little bit just so we're lifting with the highest intensity that we can. And then selection. So workout splits, volume, frequency, determined by your goals and starting point, customized to your life and schedule. It's like an example of this is, so I'm big on like the 4-day, like a 4-day split. So it's like push, pull, legs, arms, is how I've been doing a lot of my training, and a lot of my clients are like that. I got a couple advanced clients. We're doing upper lower, and so it's upper lower rest, and it's asynchronous. So it's almost so like you'll run 2 weeks, and then on the 3rd week you're back to where you started, as far as like Monday upper, Tuesday lower, Wednesday rest. So it takes 2 weeks to get back to where you're back on Monday again. So baseline training split. So the strength-based compounds at 6 to 10 reps, we're going to be pushing progressive overload. Accessory work and isolation work will be done in the 10 to 20 rep range, really just focusing on building that mind-muscle connection. And then the 3 days rest allows for like schedule changes and fucking recovery. Especially like if you guys are working like a manual labor job or something like this is probably going to be the best split. Just because like, dude, if you end up on a fucking 16-hour shift and you're fucking, you know, you find out 9 o'clock in the morning, like you're going to have a fuck of a day, and you're supposed to train legs that day. Well, fucking just like if you know you're going to get your balls smashed in at work, just take it as like an active recovery day and push that leg work out to the next day. So our push day will be something like this. So we'll start with like a bench press, flat or incline, whatever you prefer. And then maybe like an incline dumbbell, a cable fly or a dumbbell fly, and a shoulder press. And then we'll do like lateral raises, 2 different variations. These are going to be, so, you know, a bunch of sets, bunch of reps, really to push blood to the fucking side delts. And then dips and skull crushers. Pretty fucking simple. Really, you know, if you had a home gym, if you had a squat rack at your house with a couple of fucking dumbbells, you could do all this shit at home. Pull day, be a deadlift or a barbell row. Ideally, you would want to fucking rotate these like every other week. So like 1 week you do a deadlift, next week do a barbell row. Lat pull down, then a T-bar row, rear delt flies, barbell curl, and then like an alternating dumbbell curl. Either or. Leg day, so be a squat pattern times 2. So like maybe like a barbell squat, and then followed up by a like a high rep leg press or something. RDLs, either dumbbell, barbell, leg extension, ham curl, standing calf raise. Yeah, and then so like, you know, our baseline, this is our health phase. So what I like to incorporate in this phase is like some functional work. So like an AMRAP circuit, do farmer carries, like 30-minute, almost like P90X style circuit training. This is something you could do at your house. Just make it a fucking fast workout. You know, you want your heart rate fucking 130 to 150 the entire fucking time. And man, that's just going to help burn extra fat. These farmer carries are fucking great for your back and just functional. You know, everybody fucking talks about functional. All right, so our cruise/growth training split. This will be push, pull, and we'll do abs, calves, rest, arms, legs, rest. So the base is built, we're lean, strong, training volume is increased, continue to get strong on compounds while hitting all rep ranges. Now we're gonna start using intensifiers on isolations to push beyond failure. Depending on how I'm feeling, like I'll add intensifiers on my compounds also. Like I've been doing a lot of rest pause, not a lot, like every other week I'll do rest pause like on my fucking incline bench. And man, it's a fucking game changer. And then drop sets too. I love fucking drop sets. So push day be, basically the same shit. What we would do is so like our lateral raises, we're going to superset with like an upright row or a shoulder press. Pull day, also somewhat the same, except we're gonna, like our rear delts, we're gonna throw in some supersets with a rear delt row. Leg day, we're just gonna add volume to all this stuff. Arm day, so now we have an actual arm day. Previously, we were just throwing like one or two arm workouts at the end of our push and pull day. Now is a whole fucking day of barbell curls, alternating dumbbell curls, supersetted machine curls, just, whatever feels the best. I like to give my clients what I think is going to work, but if they're like, man, I'm not fucking connecting, or I'm having a hard time connecting, and they've sent me videos, I've given them feedback. If they're still struggling, it's like, okay, well, let's just find something else that you connect with. Some people have fucking elbow issues. Like me, I have elbow issues. So I was doing a lot of like close grip, like JM bench press, and I've had to fucking get off of it for a couple of weeks. And I've been doing, like a dip machine. It still hits the same part of the tricep. It's just easier on my elbows. All right, nutrition fundamentals. Macros. This method focuses on protein, carbohydrates, and fats rather than just counting calories. Precision fueling for the muscle. And food selection. Single ingredient whole foods make up the meals. Each meal contains at least 2 of the macros for balanced nutrition. Meal timing, space meals every 2 to 3 hours as needed to maintain steady energy and optimize muscle protein synthesis. So the meal timing, especially for my blue collar guys that, we're working 12 plus hours a day and training. Sometimes you got to push these fucking meals further and further apart. Makes it tough when we're dieting. It's still doable. Like I said, it's just hard sometimes. I know what it's like being on a job site, having to eat my food fucking cold. It is what it is. You got to want it. So our protein sources is chicken, beef, fish, eggs, whey. Carb sources, rice, potatoes, sweet or white, fruit, oats, and sourdough bread. Fat sources, avocado oil, olive oil, nut butter, coconut oil. See, these are what's going to keep our heart healthy. When I was eating the higher fat diet, it was fucking all saturated fat. That's why I did not lose enough weight. I never got that fucking peeled look. Even with dropping the fucking calories, I still had way too much saturated fat in there. And when you mix it with just like the tiniest bit of carbohydrates, like your fucking digestion comes to a complete stop. and you just hold on to that excess body fat. So carb cycling. Honestly, this is what pretty much all your fucking IFBB pros are doing. Once protein and fat are established, carbohydrates will be manipulated for your goals. Carb intake changes between training and non-training days. Rest days are low, training days are high. And then as we progress, we'll have like a really high day. And that's our high energy expenditure days will be very hard, like a leg day or a fucking back day is going to be crazy high in carbohydrates. This is deployed like after we get to a certain amount of leanness. Or if we're going to do like keto cycling, so like if your insulin sensitivity is completely fucked, you know, you're fat and you want to get insulin sensitive as fast as possible, we can do some keto cycling. It's where it'd be 0 carbs for 3 or 4 days and then 1 high carb day. So it's 0 carbs for 3 or 4 days, super high carb day, and then the cycle repeats itself. So here's like a example of how a meal would go, or this is a training day. So breakfast be 100 grams of oats, 150 grams of blueberries, 20 grams of almond butter, 400 grams of egg whites, 1 whole egg. 2 and 3 would be the same. Some chicken breast, 200 grams of rice, green veggies, and then some avocado oil. Pre-workout meal. So I'm big on having an actual fucking meal before your workout. Maybe an hour or two, hour and a half to 2 hours. A lot of this is person dependent. Everybody digests food at kind of a different rate, especially once you start introducing PEDs. So 6 months ago or so, I was eating my pre-workout meal about 2 hours before I would work out. Now I'm about 40 minutes. So about 40 minutes before I get to the gym, I'll fucking eat that pre-workout meal. Seems like if I wait too long, like if I'm like in the hour and a half range or something like that, I start to lose energy halfway through my workout. Especially like on, you know, fucking push-pull legs. Those, you know, they're fucking brutal workouts. And not having fuel does not feel good. So it's going to be a little less protein, a little less chicken, like than our base meals, and then a good amount of rice, and then the pineapples there just to help aid digestion. Intra-workout, so this pre-workout, intra-workout, and post-workout, we call that the peri-workout window. So in the middle of our workout, we're going to have a scoop of dextrose, a scoop of EAAs, and then a teaspoon of sea salt. What this does, it's like eating a little meal. So the scoop of dextrose is just going to bypass the stomach and just get absorbed right into the bloodstream and help replenish glycogen fucking immediately. The scoop of the EAAs is going to get amino acids in our belly and feeding our muscles. And this is going to help just with hydration. If you guys are like me, you're going to be sweating your fucking asses off through the whole workout. Post-workout, so like maybe 50 grams of rice-based cereal, 2 scoops of whey. That's going to help replenish all the fucking glycogen stores. This is the whey. It's going to be whey isolate, just fast absorbing, just to help start the recovery process immediately. And then meal 5, I fucking always save this meal for the last meal of the day. There's been a couple of times where I've had it in the middle of the day, just because I knew it was going to be hours and hours before I eat again. This being a steak and potato meal, it's going to digest a little slower. So 8 ounces lean steak, 250 grams of potatoes, and fucking some green vegetables. And that's a pretty solid training day diet right there. So, nutrition phases. A baseline phase, our calories are going to start at or just above maintenance and adjusted down slowly until the desired body composition is reached. Protein remains high, while carbs and fat will be adjusted down. This phase gets us sensitive to food for muscle building. Um, so, the guys that are natural, the fats are going to have to stay higher in this phase, um, just to help support your hormones. The guys that are enhanced or taking testosterone, we can cut your fucking fats down to almost nothing, and you're still going to feel good and function well. It's another reason, like if you're over 30, dude, you may as well fucking get on test. It just makes the dieting and stuff so much more simple. Not that I'm trying to push drugs on anybody, but it just simplifies this fucking process, and we're going to hit less plateaus. So our growth and maintenance phase, the calories are going to start at maintenance and then titrate up over several months. Again, you must be lean. 10% body fat for this phase. Protein remains high. It's going to be even higher for guys that are enhanced. Fats will stay at a constant, and the carbs will be adjusted upward to fuel growth. So cardio and cheat meals. So we're going to be doing, on training days, we're going to be doing 20 minutes of cardio, 130 beats per minute minimum. Stairmaster's recommended for maximum calorie burn and glute development. Our daily activity level is going to be 12K steps minimum. Keep moving throughout the day. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis matters for staying lean. It really fucking does. I'll admit, like back in fucking December here, I was just going through a lot with the business and fucking work. Like I wasn't sleeping and I wasn't getting my steps in. And I noticed like there was like a 2-week area there where I was like fucking getting 7,000, 4,000 a day, somewhere in there. And I noticed like my gym performance went down. I looked softer. My fucking food was pushed up pretty high, and it's not a place you want to be in, especially like, your diet is going to be set up around all this right here. The 20 minutes of cardio, 12K steps. If you're not doing this, then you're not going to be able to eat enough food, and you're not going to put on any fucking muscle. 1.5 gallons of water a day. We're taking fucking supplements. We're taking gear. So the minimum daily intake, hydration is critical for performance and recovery and muscle fullness. Especially like I said, supplements. This is good for like your kidney health, fucking liver, all that stuff. Especially we're training hard. There's going to be like a lot of muscle, what's the word? Not wasting. So like muscle breakdown is going to be processed through your body. If you're not hydrated, you're just not going to fucking feel good. So cheat meals, 1 a week. Focus on protein. Try to like keep it similar to what you're already eating. So like steak, sushi, burrito, burgers, and then be realistic with your portions. Like don't be a fucking asshole. Like, everybody sees the videos of the fucking bodybuilders ordering fucking all this shit. Well, that's after a contest, right? Like this is something that, over the course of a year, you can't be doing that every fucking week. I'll go 2 or 3 weeks at a time without having a cheat meal. Partially because, I enjoy the way that I eat. You do this long enough, like you will start to enjoy the way that you eat. And then you'll also not want to do cheat meals because you don't want to fucking wreck your progress. You're going to have all this time and money and everything wrapped up into it. And eventually you'll just like, no, okay. Actually I don't need to go to fucking Texas Roadhouse and get the porterhouse, the loaded baked potato, all the appetizers. Like you don't need to fucking do it. All right, PEDs. This is probably what everybody's been fucking waiting on. Simple, realistic cycles. So simple, realistic cycles can be deployed once you're primed and healthy. Test-based with 1 or 2 supporting injectables. Cycle length is 24 to 30 weeks. Add heavy hitters like trenbolone or fucking oral the last 8 to 10 weeks just to peak your look and maybe break past like a strength plateau or something. So PEDs are a personal choice and a big part of bodybuilding, a physique. PEDs are a personal choice and a big part of building a physique, especially past age 30. But without diet and training, they don't do a goddamn thing. Use simple compounds and at realistic dosages for your goals. These things can be used safely for long periods of time. Now, what I mean by use realistic dosages for your goals, like if you want to be fucking 220 shredded and you weigh 190 pounds right now, 250 test ain't gonna fucking do it. Like it's like a fucking nutsack above TRT. Like honestly, 350 for most of us isn't gonna get us there either. I would argue that if you have the genetics to grow off of just 250 or 350 or whatever, you would fucking know it by now. Every time you picked up a fucking weight, you know what I mean, you would put on a couple of pounds. So the testosterone is going to be the base for every fucking cycle. This is just an example cycle. So testosterone, I would run maybe 700 to 800 milligrams a week. Equipoise, 700 milligrams a week. And then HGH, 5 I use daily, right before bed for recovery, fat loss, and just overall wellness. That is a solid cycle. That is a fucking cycle you could run, for fucking 9 months and put on some real tissue with, and probably not run into hardly any side effects. Like the Equipoise is going to keep your estrogen in check. Got the test. Fucking like you don't need anything else. Like I said, maybe the last 8 to 10 weeks of the cycle, throw in a little bit of trend. And fucking look good, take some pictures, and then get ready for your health phase. All right, so I got Roughneck Reset approved compounds. So if it's not on this list and we're working together, I'm probably going to tell you not to fucking take it. So for our injectables, testosterone, tren up to 350. Anything more than that, like you're just going to run into a bunch of fucking side effects. I mean, just fucking trust me. You don't need to, I've never even ran 350 before. I get enough, honestly, off of 200. I've only ran tren one time. I'll probably do it again at the end of this cycle, but it's probably going to be like 200, just for that mental drive, the strength increase, it's enough, trust me. Equipoise, nandrolone, either DECA or NPP, Masteron and Primobolan. I don't even know why I put that on there. You can't even fucking get it right now. And then DHB. So for orals, be Winstrol is really the only one that I would ever tell anybody to fucking take, especially after the age 30. Fucking Anadrol is just, you're asking for fucking cardiovascular issues. Superdrol, I don't even, it sounds great, but like I say, you're fucking over the age of 30. You've been drinking for fucking 10 years. The last thing you need is fucking Superdrol, right? So HGH, IGF-1, and then this SLU-PP332, never taken it. I'm probably going to experiment with it. This is like it's like for fat loss, fat metabolism. Other peptides, the BPC-157, TV-500, this GHKCU. All 3 of these together, you can buy them in it's called a glow blend, and it works really good. Like, I mean, your skin will look fucking amazing when you're done with it. Retatrutide, again, I haven't taken it. I've been able to get lean just with dieting alone. Motzi, I've never taken it. Heard good things. Might play around. I'll probably play around with it when I go into my health phase. And then 5-amino 1Q. I've had a lot of. I've had some experience with this. This is just really great for staying lean. You know, you take it in the morning or pre-workout, and it just helps with fat oxidation. All right, so program recap. So we got 2 nutritional phases, fat loss and then muscle building. Training sessions, 4 a week, 4 intense workouts with time for family and career. Except my workouts at the gym, hour and a half, 2 hours max, with the 20 minutes of cardio. 5 meals per day. Clean, whole foods, and macros with a purpose. And then days to transform your physique and mindset is 180. That's 6 months, boys. If you lock in for fucking 6 months, you will see a day and night difference in your physique. So if you made it this far in the video, have an offer for you. It's a one-on-one coaching opportunity. If you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and start getting real results, here's what you get when you work with me directly. This is customized training plans, personalized programs by Mesocycle designed for your schedule, goals, and experience level. Personalized nutrition plan based on your preferences and needs, no cookie cutter bullshit. Unlimited daily communication, direct access to me, ask questions, get feedback, stay accountable. This is 24 hours, guys. I have clients that'll fucking shoot me a message at 10 o'clock at night, whatever. I get back to them. They stay on track, and I'm happy with it. So the Trainerize app and community. You can track your workouts, meals, progress, and connect with other guys on the same path. Supplement and PED guidance, safe and effective protocols customized to your goals and health markers. So knowledge library, training and diet resources so you understand the why behind every decision. And this is my knowledge library. This is fucking whatever, 2.5 years of figuring it out the fucking hard way. And then real accountability. I'll call you on your bullshit. I haven't pulled any punches in this presentation, and I will not pull any punches if we're working together. No excuses, just results. And my guarantee is if you stay up to date with your check-ins, send me your training footage, and accurately track your meals and don't get results, I will fucking work with you for free until you do. So take action now. Your transformation awaits. If you're ready to stop looking the same year after year, build a physique that you're proud of, develop unbreakable discipline and confidence, and set the standard for your family and community, it's time to take action. Stop looking the same. Guys, you know, I fucking hate seeing it. I go to a Planet Fitness right down the road. Been working out there a couple of years, and not to sound fucking arrogant, but I feel I am the only one in there. Well, there's like, if there's 100 people in there, 4 of them have made real progress in the last 2 years. I would be fucking depressed too if I was making zero, if I was going to the gym 2 hours a day, every day of the week, and not making any fucking progress. I would be depressed too. So, that's it. I'd love to hear back from you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you learned something. Come holler.